UK Hun and the rest of the world. Today I am recapping the latest episode of UK vs. the World Season 3 Girl Groups from Outer Space. And this episode was every damn thing. My favourite episode yet. I have a lot to say, so without further ado, let's get into it. The Queens walk back into the workroom after Minty's elimination, and Fontana is mad at Gordland. Even Naomi was like, you should have saved Fontana over Serena. But Gordland does not give a fig. Mariah schools Fontana in basic courtesy, saying she should not have celebrated so openly in front of Minty. And look, Mariah, let's not forget cultural differences and what's at stake for Fontana, okay? Zahira and Gordland consider a Southeast Asian alliance. So it's a new week in the competition, and Fontana wants to start fresh. She says she respects Gordland's decision, but Sminty doesn't quite believe her. At that moment, Rue enters the workroom and announces that for this week's Maxi Challenge, the Queens will form 2 girl groups and perform Robopop Bop, I'm in Love with an Alien. They will need to write their own verses and come up with the choreo. As last week's winner and lip sync survivor, Gordland and Fontana are made team captains. In Group 1, we have Gordland, Zahira, Sminty Drop, and Mariah. And in Group 2, we have Fontana, Kate, the only Naomi, and Serena Morena. Naomi may have been picked last, but she is a wild card, I have been saying it. As the Queens prepare, Gordland realizes that her group isn't exactly on good terms with the girl group challenge. And I love how Zahira knows everything about Mariah. Mariah has probably forgotten her own track record, but Zahira knows it back to front. In the choreo session, Sminty gets irritated by the other girls giggling in the corner. The pressure is building for her, and this is a running theme throughout this episode. She yells at Naomi, calling her a cotton swab. I may or may not have laughed at that. On Elimination Day, Naomi and Sminty talk it out. Sminty shares that she is quite insecure out of drag. And again, this is very pertinent to her storyline. Kate also apologizes to Zahira and says that she felt growing up very alien herself. And these storylines write themselves. Do you see how this was such a perfect week for Kate to win? So on the main stage this evening, we have RuPaul looking very questionable. We have Michelle Visage, Graham Norton, and extra special guest judges, Bananarama. So first up, we have the Dollargrams. And in my opinion, Mariah was by far the worst one in this group. At one point, she wasn't even lip syncing. Her movements were so awkward, I felt like she really slowed down the momentum of her group. And I think the best was Gordland. In the warm holes, the best was definitely Kate Butch. She had the funniest and most intelligent verse. She looked fantastic and she was giving it everything. And the worst for me was Serena, purely for the crunchy moves. Category is You're a Star, baby, and I gave my top 2 to Fontana. Sorry, I meant to say shoot. Have you ever seen a more perfect human? I don't think you have. And so it's time for the judges' critiques, and they are not judged in teams, they are judged individually. The 2 choreographers of the week, Fontana and Zahira, are made safe, meaning the rest of the tops and bottoms of the week. First up is Gordland, and she is told that she was adorable in the performance. And her outfit is absolutely drag-tastic, despite it being called costumey by Michelle. And I like this look, but because she already did an all-orange look in episode 1, I gave my top 2 to Fontana. Next is Mariah, and the corset was nice, but the bottom half was just off to me. And in the performance, Mariah just looked like a deer in headlights. It was really distracting from the rest of the group. Sminty is told that her choreography didn't land and that they could see her hurting. Luckily, her verse was killer. I really liked her Pete Burns inspired outfit too. Kate is in the top for the best verse and for nailing her choreography. She was by far my favourite this week. And her runway was very glamorous. It's really great to see Kate showing a different side to herself. The only Naomi is told that the second half of her performance added so much flavour to the group. She dominated, and I wasn't expecting it. I'm so proud of Naomi. Pick last for her group, yet in the top. And this look was very different and fitted to her body perfectly. It was gorgeous. And last but not least, we have Serena Morena, and the look was absolutely beautiful, but the stunts were crunchy. And so the win goes to Kate Butch, and yes, very well deserved. She gets the power of the Chippy Tea and will need to save either Mariah, Sminty, or Serena from lip syncing. In Untucked, the girls plead their case to Kate. Mariah tries to appeal to her unofficial alliance with Kate, and Sminty just looks defeated. They wanted to see the fight from Sminty, but she just wasn't feeling it. And we all know that Serena had no chance of being saved 2 weeks in a row. Back on the main stage, Kate decides to save Mariah over Sminty. And Sminty is gagged, and so was everyone else. And honestly, I would not have saved Mariah. I think Mariah deserved to be in the bottom because she definitely was the worst this week alongside Serena. Like, yes, Minty didn't have a great week, but the runway was good and her verse was really good. And so I do understand why Sminty was frustrated, especially because they have an alliance. It's the UK alliance. But Kate also has an alliance with Mariah, so it really comes down to who do you think will benefit you more in the long run? Sminty and Serena performed to I Heard a Rumor by Bananarama, and I'm really surprised that they didn't perform to Venus. Like, yes, that has been done before in Drag Race UK, but this was a sci-fi challenge. Venus is a planet? I don't know. I felt like that was a missed opportunity. Anyways, what matters here is that Sminty doesn't know the goddamn words. Serena, on the other hand, was nailing every move and lyric. She even had a very clever and unexpected reveal. And I was absolutely gagged. Serena deserved to stay for that alone. Sure enough, Serena stays, and we say goodbye to Sminty, but not before she flips off Kate Butch. And honestly, as I said, I think Mariah should have been in the bottom, but I don't begrudge Kate at all. This was good gameplay, and Sminty should have learnt the words. What is with queens lately not knowing the words to the lip sync songs? I'm talking about season 18 here as well. And I think Sminty could have easily stayed if she had just learnt the words. And then she could have proven to Kate that she deserved to stay here, and that could have been a storyline in itself. That wasn't Kate's fault, that was Sminty's fault. But please don't send hate to anybody because Kate and Sminty are fine and they have made up since. Sminty has said multiple times now that she wanted to make good TV this season, and she has. And so, my friends, this truly was a 10 out of 10 episode. It was top tier. The international queens are continuing to get their flowers, and it was just so gaggy in all the best ways. Next week is an acting challenge, but what did you think of the challenge this week and the judging choices? Give me all the tea, and I'll see you very soon for another video.